Major funding for KPBS Evening Edition has been made possible in part by Bill Howe Family of Companies, providing San Diego with plumbing, heating, air, restoration, and flood services for over 45 years. Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE or visit billhowe.com. And by the Conrad Prebys Foundation, Darlene Marcos Shiley, and by the following. And by viewers like you. Thank you.
Watch parties are happening across San Diego ahead of Team USA's World Cup debut. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Carroll in for Maya Trabulsi. Mexico kicked off the global soccer tournament yesterday with a win. Now it's the United States' turn to take the pitch in Los Angeles. KPBS reporter Jacob Ayer is live in Little Italy, where an all-day watch party is taking place. Jacob, what's it like down there?
Hey John, it's beginning to turn into quite the lively atmosphere here down at the Piazza della Familia. Fans are still kind of piling in, trickling in to watch the game where U.S. is going to be taking on Paraguay. They were actually showing both World Cup games here throughout the day. Earlier it was Canada taking on Bosnia and Herzegovina. That game ended up in a 1-1 tie. Like I said, things are about to kick off here. We actually spoke with some U.S. and other soccer fans here earlier in the day. Here's what they had to say.
I'd like to see Brazil win because I was born there. But I'll cheer for all the home nations as well.
Russ Schubert is a longtime player and coach of the game. He's excited the matches are being hosted across the 3 North American countries, but disappointed with the high ticket prices. He could afford to go to the games the last time they were held in the U.S. back in 1994.
I remember 94 vividly when I was in the Rose Bowl. I was at the game where U.S. beat Colombia. I was behind the goal on the second goal on the own goal, and just amazing. You know, I actually went to Stanford to watch the Brazil versus the then Russia team, or USSR at the time.
Unlike Schubert, Ariana Torres is a relatively new fan to the sport. She says this is her first World Cup.
You don't need to know anything. You don't need to know anything to experience how wonderful and how amazing it is. You don't need to know teams. You don't need to know players. You can just get excited for the heck of it. You can get excited once you see a goal, get excited about how people react to everything.
The U.S. game is set to kick off tonight at 6 p.m. For those who can't make it out to this watch party, there are others taking place around the county, including in Chula Vista at the Elite Athlete Training Center, and another one in Mission Beach next to Belmont Park. Reporting live from Little Italy, Jacob Ayer, KPBS News.
Go USA. Thanks, Jacob. KPBS has a dedicated section on our website for all things World Cup. You can find it on our homepage, kpbs.org, with all the latest news, results, and details for local watch parties. We'll have more on the players for the U.S. men's Team A bit later in this newscast.
We're seeing consistent temperatures in the mid-60s overall. We'll see a few more clouds tonight. Now, our temperatures, we're seeing mild fluctuations, but still along the coast staying about at historical average, elsewhere trending a little above historical average. We'll take a look at the end of your week and your weekend, even looking into next week coming up.
This week, we've seen back and forth rhetoric from President Trump on American peace negotiations with Iran. Now, more than 3 months since U.S.-led attacks began, it appears there might finally be a breakthrough. Karen Kafa has an update on where things stand.
President Donald Trump on social media Friday calling out Iran for what he described as inaccurate descriptions of a proposal to end the war. Very dishonorable people to deal with, the president wrote. With them, there is no such thing as dealing in good faith. Iran's foreign minister, meanwhile, said on social media, a deal has never been closer, and all details will be shared with the public in due course. On Thursday night, President Trump said during a political event that the war had ended.
I don't know if you heard, but we ended the war with Iran today, and they have agreed never to have a nuclear weapon, something that we we insisted on.
A senior Trump administration official said Iran had agreed to dismantle its nuclear program and destroy and remove nuclear material. The official said the Strait of Hormuz would reopen and Iran would end proxy support of terrorist groups. Iran's foreign minister Friday cautioned against speculation about the details of the agreement. While President Trump has made a number of previous claims of an imminent deal, experts say this may be different.
But the fact that they have gotten so far that he's willing to go out on this type of a limb and say that they're this close, I think means that they are indeed quite close.
A signing ceremony for a memo of understanding would most likely be held in Geneva, Switzerland, sources say, not far from where Trump and the U.S. delegation will attend a G7 summit next week in France. In Washington, Karen Katha, KPBS News.
A warning to our audience, this next story discusses suicide. A long-expected suicide barrier is coming to the San Diego Coronado Bay Bridge. State Coastal Commissioners greenlit that barrier this week. KPBS reporter Tammy Murga spoke with a retired firefighter who has persisted for years to get a barrier built there.
When he was a firefighter in Coronado, Wayne Strickland responded to many suicide calls on the Coronado Bridge.
If you can save a life, or save an injury, and as a firefighter, you get involved. So anyway, that became a mission of mine.
He knew he had to do something. For years, he urged Caltrans to build a barrier. Survivors and the families who lost loved ones worked alongside him, sharing their stories.
The Caltrans commissioners listened, and one was so upset he kind of had to leave the room for a minute. It made a difference with them talking and their stories.
In 2019, Caltrans added bird spikes on the bridge as a temporary deterrent. But the bridge remains the second most frequently used bridge for suicide in California. Now, Caltrans is working on a more permanent solution. They propose building an 8-foot-tall steel mesh barrier on top of the bridge's guardrails. This week, the State Coastal Commission gave it the green light.
Installing the barriers at its core is going to save lives, supporting first responders who have the difficult job of leading rescues and also ensuring ongoing access to the coast.
Caltrans expects to begin construction this fall and have it ready by 2028. For Strickland, the guardrails give him hope.
Things do get better. And of course, preventing this well-known suicide hotspot is going to save a lot of lives.
Tammy Murga, KPBS News.
Help is just a phone call away for those experiencing a mental health crisis. Call or text 988 to connect to a trained counselor. It's part of the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. An online chat feature is also available at 988california.org. Today marks 10 years since the Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando, Florida. It remains one of the deadliest mass shootings in American history, with 49 killed and 58 injured. Many of the victims were members of Orlando's LGBTQ and Hispanic communities. The nightclub's building was demolished earlier this year. There are plans to build a permanent memorial there. The city of Orlando will hold a remembrance ceremony tonight. Here in San Diego, the LGBT Center in Hillcrest is hosting a community ofrenda for those who want to remember the victims. Earlier this week, KPBS Midday Edition featured a discussion about the shooting and its lasting impact. And today, on Roundtable, KPBS spoke with a panel of local and national LGBTQ journalists. You can stream both episodes at kpbs.org or wherever you get your podcasts. Riders on San Diego's public transit systems could be paying more as early as this fall. That is, if the region's planning agency approves a fare increase to help balance deficits. KPBS Public Matters reporter Jake Gada details how a new proposal would shield low-income riders from that price hike.
The San Diego Metropolitan Transit System, or MTS, is facing a structural budget deficit that started back when ridership collapsed during the COVID-19 pandemic. Since then, the agency has covered its deficits mostly with emergency state and federal dollars. But that money won't last forever, and the agency is facing an insurmountable gap starting in 2030 if it can't find new revenues. which is why the board voted to recommend fare increases earlier this year. The San Diego Association of Governments, or SANDAG, is set to consider the higher fare structure in July after it moves through a committee process. But on Thursday, the MTS board approved a plan to protect lower-income riders from those higher fares. City Council member and MTS board director Sean Elo Rivera introduced a plan to freeze fares for riders who are enrolled in CalFresh, Medi-Cal, or CalWorks.
First and foremost is protecting people who are vulnerable, who depend on our system. The belief that having those folks stay in the system as riders who are paying something rather than nothing is actually better for the long-term health of the system.
The plan was approved by the board despite some questions about the impact on revenues. MTS staff was unsure of how many regular riders would qualify. But Director Marcus Bush, National City Council member, applauded Elo Rivera's idea.
Having the qualifiers be members or riders who are on CalFresh, on Medi-Cal, on CalWorks, that they would get the same fare. Their fare wouldn't go up. I think that is very fair. I think that is really taking a creative solution that takes into consideration the needs of the community.
Higher fares won't be enough to cover long-term deficits anyway. By 2030, the agency has to look for other revenue sources regardless. MTS staff made clear a local sales tax measure, which voters would need to approve, would be the most viable long-term strategy. But that won't be on the ballot until at least 2028. In the meantime, Elo Rivera said maximizing revenue from everything but fares should be the priority.
The alternatives to making more progress are either increasing fares for low-income riders or folks across the system, and or reducing services. I just want to see a maximum level of urgency to getting those non-fare revenues turned on.
Jake Gata, KPBS News.
America's 250th birthday is just around the corner. The occasion is being commemorated in a multitude of ways all across the country, including here in San Diego. For June's Museum a Month, I visited the San Diego History Center, where a very special exhibit commemorating the anniversary is coming together. For a moment as momentously historic as the 250th birthday of the United States, you would expect a place focused on history to do something special. For the San Diego History Center, that means a unique look at how the last 250 years have unfolded here.
So this is quite an ambitious project for us and actually for any museum, because the concept is San Diego history 1776 to 2026 in 100 objects.
Dr. Tina Zarpour is the History Center's Vice President of Community Engagement, Collections, and Education. So how do you choose 100 objects to tell a 250-year-old story? Zarpour says that's where community engagement and education came together, engaging with students from UC San Diego and San Diego State to choose those 100 objects.
And we brought them in and took them through a whole training regimen, basically a course on how to understand objects, how to work with the public, how to write labels for objects, how to do object-based learning and interpretation.
When we visited, the exhibit was still coming together, but we got a good sense of what it will look like when it opens on June 18th. The exhibits throughout America at 250 really run the gamut. Everything from the very serious, this cannon that was at the Serra Museum, arguably representing a matter of life and death, to the whimsical. Those of you of a certain age like me will remember the Jack-in-the-Box head through which one would place one's order when one went through the drive-thru. You may know Jack-in-the-Box was founded in San Diego, and it's still headquartered here. The exhibits not only span a wide range of types, but also of age. There are very old things.
This is a 17th century armario, or cabinet, purchased by our founder, George Marston.
Stepping forward in time, there is this voluminous book, a priceless artifact from a pivotal moment in San Diego history.
And it will be open during the exhibit, but this is the guest register from the 1915 Expo. And every single person that came signed their name in the book.
Moments in San Diego's architectural history are here. The late San Diego, Jack Murphy, Qualcomm Stadium, and this intricate model of Horton Plaza. Imagine the hours model makers spent on these.
This flag is one of our newer objects. It dates from 2019. And this flag has the distinction of being the first flag of the Kumeyaay Nation that was flown over the Presidio in Balboa Park.
Zarpur says it was important to the History Center to present as fulsome a picture as possible of our history. That includes dark moments. These unassuming pieces tell of the KKK's presence here, an honorary ribbon, and a taillight cover with those infamous 3 letters. It was donated by the son of a Klan member.
But he felt it was important to preserve this history in San Diego, and we feel it's important to interpret this history and, not, to show the good and the bad.
Back to the less serious, but still hugely important in San Diego history.
We have the programs from the first Comic-Con from 1970.
These uniforms, worn by members of the United States Navy, a nod to our military history, and this unassuming little Smith Corona typewriter, it was used to draft the founding documents of the Women's Studies Department at San Diego State, the first of its kind in the nation. Moving forward to very recent history, a banner emblazoned with the words peace, love, hope will be going up soon. If you got a COVID vaccine at the Del Mar Fairgrounds, you might remember it hanging there. What do you hope visitors take away when it's all done? They come, they see it, they walk out those doors. What do you hope they think or talk about?
First, that there is always a San Diego connection, right? Second, multiple narratives, multiple stories, not the single narrative. Sometimes it's memory, sometimes it's nostalgia, sometimes it's something completely new that they've never encountered before. And that's what we wanted to embrace, is really people's relationship with the past through objects and artifacts. We're used to telling histories through timelines, through events, through people, through the written word, but this is telling history through objects.
Objects that, with apologies to Ken Kramer, tell you a lot about San Diego. America at 250, San Diego 1776 through 2026, opens June 18th and runs through July 31st at the San Diego History Center in Balboa Park. It is very much worth your time. We have coverage of America 250 on all KPBS platforms. That includes a dedicated section at kpbs.org. You'll find a mix of local and national content. Expect more in the coming weeks as we get closer to the 4th of July. Earlier, we heard from Jacob Air in Little Italy, where fans are gathering to watch the U.S. compete in the World Cup. But what about the players themselves? Few athletes will ever get the chance to play on the biggest stage as the host nation, and it's all happening here in Southern California. Coy Wire has more from the players who will be representing Team USA.
Yes, I am here outside of the USA's World Cup practice facility. Was at their practice just a bit ago. Players chomping at the bit. Talked to some of them saying that they are nervous and they're not afraid to say it. This World Cup returns to a very different America than the one that visited when it was last hosted here in 1994. US soccer back then actually had to pay players just so they could train together. There was no MLS, no soccer-specific stadiums. There were no generation of kids growing up watching American stars compete at some of Europe's most storied clubs like we have today. Now, crowds are bigger, passion of fans is more palpable, the football IQ is higher, and those kids who grew up with World Cup dreams are now living and about to play in one right here on home soil. They are hyped.
Probably be looking up at my family and friends in the stands who've supported me throughout all this, so there'll be a lot of emotions. It'll be a proud moment representing the U.S. home soil in a World Cup. I mean, very special.
Very happy emotion, and if tears come. But yeah, I can't wait for that moment.
Full circle moment, because as a kid dreaming about being in that position, wearing the crest, and being able to hear the national anthem, I think it's something that, it makes dreams come true.
You get kind of nervous in that moment, but it's a great feeling. I can't wait.
Motivated, inspired, emotional.
I'm sure there'll be a tear shed. It's a huge honor. LA is my hometown, and so being able to play in my hometown for a World Cup, I mean, it just creates an unbelievable story.
Grateful for my family, everyone. They're going to be there, so that's going to be a special moment for me for sure.
All right, the U.S. have not reached a World Cup quarterfinal since 2002, but this group believes this tournament won't just be a soccer event, it'll be a moment, changing how their country sees the game and how the rest of the world sees them. America's World Cup journey begins against Paraguay right here in Los Angeles.
Well, as our temperatures just fluctuate a few degrees day to day right now, that means the heat in the desert, it is holding strong. We are talking about that midsummer type of heat that can be very dangerous if you have to be out in it for extended periods of time. So keep those heat-related illness reminders in mind. Temperature swings very minor, but we'll take a look at the next couple of days and map out the differences here. Now, along the coast, I mean, that's the place to be if you want a mild weekend overall, which, I mean, no surprise, right? That tends to be what happens along the coast. But take a look at tonight. Temperature-wise, we're in the mid to low 60s from Oceanside to Escondido, 66 in San Diego, 75 there for Borrego Springs. A few clouds across the board here. As we've seen the chance of showers kind of move out, we'll start to see those clouds clear. By the time we get to tomorrow, many more of us seeing brilliant sunshine. 105 in Borrego Springs, 89 for Ramona, 86 for El Cajon, then 75 as we get closer to the coast. Taking a look at the next 5 days, take a look. Here's what I mean. Those nice mild conditions, mid to upper 70s, 76, 77, down to 75 by the time we get to your Wednesday. We have some intermittent clouds, and of course, this is where we get the marine layer in the morning, the June gloom, those low clouds and fog, but that's June for you. Further inland, we're in the 80s. We go from 85 down to 81 Saturday to Wednesday, so if 85 is a little much for you, just wait a few days, we'll get a little bit better. As we take a look at our mountain regions, we're staying in the 70s, 73 up to 79 by the time we get to Wednesday. So you see what I mean about the fluctuations, just a few degrees, but this does get us trending above our historical averages. We range 5 to 10 degrees above historical average for the next several days, depending on what day exactly we're talking about, for especially our mountain and desert regions. And just the triple digits. I mean, we are not seeing a lot of change day to day. 105, 104, what's the difference? Really feels the same just about outside. At least it's not 110 or 110 or above. We get that later into the summer. Either way, though, stay safe with this heat. For KPBS News, I'm AccuWeather's Anna Azalian.
One of contemporary art's most influential artists has died. David Hockney was 88. The British painter was a long-time California resident, and this is where he drew much of his inspiration. Nick Glass reports on Hockney's life and work.
Always wildly popular, always instantly recognizable, and stepping up in 2016 to show us what was, in all but name, his autobiography.
They're stunning reproductions, these, stunning actually. That's the arrival of spring. Well, I realized this book would last 100 years probably. Most people will see my work in this book. Why not do it really good?
Hockney was born an observer, as a boy from the top of a double-decker bus in his native Bradford.
I've always loved looking. I've always loved looking. When I could go on the Bradford buses on my own, I used to run right upstairs, run to the front of the buses so you could see more. You could see more.
This is you at 16?
17 years old.
Hockney's gaze was intense from the beginning. Always a superlative draftsman, art critics compared him to his hero, Picasso. At the Royal College of Art in London in the early 60s, he celebrated his homosexuality, heroically so. Sex between men remained an offence in England until the law changed in 1967. The work was teasing.
What was the reaction to them at the time?
I think they thought they were naughty. I came to California in 1964 when nobody knew me, and I preferred that. Swimming pools I always loved. I mean, all the wiggly lines they make. If you photograph them, it freezes them. Whereas if you use paint, you can have wiggly lines that wiggle.
The other most memorable paintings from the late 60s onwards were the double portraits, carefully distilled images of his parents and his friends. Hockney was rare among modern artists, recognized internationally with landmark exhibitions twice in 1988 and 2017. Hockney never stopped exploring his art and visual media, Polaroids, photo collage, fax and video. And from 2010, he started making art with an iPad. In one of his last great cycles of work, he painted the landscape of his native Yorkshire. Hockney was always a defiant smoker. Knew it would probably shorten his life.
65 years ago, I began smoking, actually. It's 65 years in this book. I keep looking through it and I think, well, I've not done so bad in my life. Every day I've done what I want to do. And I could say that.
That's a privilege.
Yeah, I know it's a privilege. I know I'm privileged. But I've always known I was privileged.
Nick Glass reporting. Today, Governor Gavin Newsom and First Partner Jennifer Siebel Newsom released a statement saying Hockney soaked up the California sunshine and gave that warmth back to the world tenfold. He will be deeply missed. You can find tonight's stories on our website, kpbs.org. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. I'm John Carroll. Have an excellent evening and a wonderful weekend.
Major funding for KPBS Evening Edition has been made possible in part by Bill Howe Family of Companies, providing San Diego with plumbing, heating, air, restoration, and flood services for over 45 years. Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE or visit billhowe.com. And by the Conrad Prebys Foundation, Darlene Marcos Shiley, and by the following: and by viewers like you. Thank you.